Ahoy everyone! I hope this video finds you well. Whether you're totally new at constructed languages or a nigh expert looking to hone his craft, I, Lycan, an inexpert, but I like to imagine thoughtful Conlanger, named after a symbiote of algae and fungus, have made this video to set up some tips for conlanging that I have found to be useful, and which I hope you will find useful as well. Here's a visual for 12 tips I've got for you. It'll look impenetrable now, but it will make sense in due course. Let's jump in. Number 1. Make and follow goals. These goals might pertain to grammar, phonology, aesthetics, the con-speaker's culture, or the ultimate purpose of the language. Maybe you want to write a novel, unite humanity, or summon eldritch horrors, whatever it may be. And these goals should be thought through and written down so that you can refer to them later, either on the computer, in a notebook, or tattooed on your goldfish, I don't really care. The usefulness of goals is that they streamline your work, meaning you won't waste time bothering with irrelevant fripperies. And goals transform that terrifying question, is this good? You can tell it's scary because of the font, into the much more manageable and specific, does this conform to my goals? This question is so unthreatening I've written it in Comic Sans. I might make a whole video about goals in fact, so, as they say on the netosphere, watch this space. Tip number 2. Get intimate with a Natlang or two. Learning Natlangs, that is, natural languages, takes a lot of effort, no doubt. But the payoff is huge. You'll gain a holistic sense of why and how a language's internal structure and vocabulary is the way it is, and why and how it differs from your mother tongue, to fully experience the possible range of expressing things. Not to mention, you'll gain the ability to communicate with those who speak that language, you'll be more employable, and apparently you'll suffer from dementia less. My recommendation would be to choose a language very different and very distant from your mother tongue, just to see how wacky things can get. Don't be a boring booba, be a curious kiki. Just a little linguistics joke there for you. Now, I wouldn't say I'm a brilliant conlanger, nor a first-class linguist, but I've found my experience with languages from these disparate families has really broadened my linguistic attitude and made me at least a better conlanger, if not necessarily a good one. However, if you, quite understandably, have neither the time nor the inclination to learn a foreign language to any degree of fluency, you can still glean great golden swathes of knowledge by reading language grammars, as written by the linguisticians who lived and worked in those linguistic communities. I know, however much it saddens me to face such truth, that I won't learn Navajo, Tamazight, Kwekwe, Inupiaq, Basque or Burushaski, nor the thousands of other Natlangs the world is graced with. But I've read about them, and I can tell you quite a lot. Find a nice tasty grammar, light the fire, and sit down with it on a rainy afternoon with a nice mug of... Number 3. Read about linguistic theory. And yes, not just Wikipedia pages, although they're a great place to start. I mean dry, academic papers. If you really enjoy linguistics, they won't seem so dry, and they are important for building one's theoretical understanding of language and its deep structures and trends. Things will be brought into your realm of attention hitherto unconsidered and unknown, like cognitive image schemas, Gricean maxims, Schweber-Ablauten PIE, and so much more. This will also clue you up on lots of jargon people in linguistics communities use. A lot of this knowledge can be found online on websites like academia.edu, and the Language Creation Society's videos of the presentations from their language creation conferences can be a good place to dip in your toes. Links you'll find in the description. Tip number 4. Don't fall in love with labels. Time and time again I've encountered individuals who come across a linguistic term like ergativity or trigger systems, and immediately say, I want to include that. While the zeal is commendable, I counsel reading up, like tip 3 says, and making sure you fully understand something before blindly leaping in and making a mess. Another label-related issue is people thinking a term describes only one specific thing. For instance, the words accusative case bring to mind that its function is to denote the patient of a transitive verb, and rightly so. But so often, what we call the accusative is used for so much more. In Latin, it's used for time when constructions, and in modern standard Arabic, the case called accusative in some literature, oft better referred to by the endoterm mansub, is used far beyond patience for all sorts of adverby type constructions like this. And it's used for counting things above 10. I don't know why, that's just the way it is. The same applies for words like subjunctive and jussive. These words can mean wildly different things depending on the language they are describing. Don't be fooled by labels, and don't be limited by them. Seek to understand what lies beneath them. Tip number 5. Learn to present well. This is a short point here, but if you want feedback or critique of your work, you should make it as clear and as neat as possible. This entails learning and using 1. The International Phonetic Alphabet, or the IPA, 2. Learning the differences between these types of brackets, 3. Using charts and tables, and 4. Glossing adequately, and you can find the Leipzig rules online, they're very helpful. Tip number 6. Spend time with other conlangers. It's no coincidence that the great painters and artists through time have been friends with one another. Van Gogh and Gauguin, Jean-Michel Basquiat and Andy Warhol, Ernest Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it's frankly brilliant that the internet allows so many of us with this exceedingly niche hobby to interact with one another. And here, I'd counsel 2 things. The first is don't give advice if you don't know the answer. Just listen and soak up the ken. 2. Get advice from those older than you. While age certainly doesn't coincide with wisdom, chances are those older than you have worked on projects long term and know what works and what doesn't. And at the end of the day, you're still at perfect liberty to reject the advice they give. Check out the CBB and the ZBB for some good stuff in good communities, with the links below. Not to mention threads on Reddit and servers on Discord. Tip number 7. Spend time alone. I think it is important to spend time alone for 2 reasons. Firstly, to actually get work done. And secondly, to give yourself space to think about things undisturbed. It's very easy not to get any creative work or reading done if you're constantly checking out others' work, and you'll stymie your progress if you request feedback on every little thing, with its implementation contingent on satisfying the mob. Set aside time to be alone. Come to terms with the ideas, your own or others, and get cracking. Tip number 8. Think about features versus governance. I like to do this activity to fructify my imagination on how things in a language might be encoded. Examples of features would be word order, affixes, verbal or nominal, particles, cases, reduplication, vowel harmony, consonant mutation, and so on. Things that appear in a language. Governance, meanwhile, is things like tense, aspect, mood, plurality, definiteness, animacy, agreement, and so on. Things that are occurring inside the language. In fact, I've made a little program in Excel that randomly makes pairs from these 2 lists. Let's see. What if evidentiality was governed by noun incorporation? Maybe Jill tilled the soil with a hoe would mean someone had told me this, while Jill hoe-tilled the soil would mean I had first-hand experience of it. That's pretty neat. What if number was governed by a particle? What this makes me think of is, what if this particle told us how many arguments of each kind there were? So you have a single particle that says, we've got a plural subject going on here with a single object. That could be fun. What if volition was governed by nominal affix? I feel this is kind of already happening in languages with fluid S alignments, where if the agent of an action wills it, then the agent is marked ergatively, while if they didn't will it, then they are marked nominatively. Yes, no, comment below. What if tense was governed by vowel harmony? Back vowels for past, front vowels for non-past, anyone? You can tell I haven't cherry-picked these examples, they're literally the first ones my computer spat out. And I like to do this activity to prevent myself from being caught in habitual thought furrows. It doesn't always lead to particularly naturalistic arrangements, but hey-ho, you might enjoy doing the same, or not. Tip number 9. Phonological inventories are much less important and interesting than phonotactics. Phonological inventories are much less interesting than phonotactics rendered holistically. In fact, the r/Conlangers Reddit has banned the posting of bare inventories. Think of it like this. An inventory is a list of ingredients like flour, cheese, tomato, pork, onion, and spinach. But from these ingredients you might cook a pepperoni pizza with spinach salad, bruschetta with cheesy spinachy pork meatballs, or a lasagna, and so on. When conlangers are keen to sample each other's work, pretend they are hungry. Don't give them a list of ingredients, serve them a meal. Another metaphor one could use is from a chat with Bibluridian, who suggested the sounds in an inventory are to phonotactics what a list of words is to a novel. The words are necessary, but it's the novel that people are interested in. Tip number 10. Don't evolve everything, relish accidents. This is simple enough. You don't have to evolve everything, as it's turtles all the way down. Also, proto-langs are no less or more complex or constrained than modern languages, so don't be led to believe they have to be a certain way or that they have to be somehow primitive. And relish accidents, like Bob Ross. Tip number 11. Creative burnout exists. Sometimes it feels like a project isn't going anywhere, or you've tinkered with it until you're bored of it now. That's fine. Just take a break from it for a day or a week or a month to let the fields of your mind lie fallow for a bit. Then take a look at your goals, tip 1, to remind yourself of your intent for the project. If your goals have changed, change them, or start a new project with new goals. Hell, I'm making this very video because I feel my current project is just going in circles. The long and short of it, though, is don't worry about it. We all fall out of love with our projects from time to time. Tip number 12. How to answer what next? Translate. Generally, if you're feeling stuck, translate something, as this helps generate both vocabulary and flesh out grammar. I like to use lines from films or novels. Take Call Me Ishmael. Reasonably simple, but requires thinking about imperatives. Do they differ if addressing plural or singular listeners? Are there politeness registers? And how to render naming. Is there a special word for a first or familial name? Maybe the con speakers say, people call me Ishmael, or Ishmael is my name, and it's more of a statement than an imperative. Yet more complex sentences can be daunting. Take, helping Peter paint the fence blue makes John happy. We have a lot going on here, so instead of trying to do it all at once, I like to dissect the sentence into more manageable morsels using the simplification method like so, and then synthesize it into a whole at the end. And that's it for now. Until next time. And remember, don't like and don't subscribe.